Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. I want to talk to you today about something we all desire: respect. It's not something we can demand. True respect has to be earned, and it begins with how we carry ourselves. If we want to gain respect from others, we must first understand that it starts from within. 1. Respect begins with self-awareness. You see, the way people treat you is a reflection of how you treat yourself. It starts with knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what your boundaries are. Ask yourself, what are the values I live by? What are the lines I will never allow to be crossed? When you know these answers, you become rooted in your truth, and others will feel it. They will see that you're not someone who can be pushed or swayed easily, because your respect for yourself sets the standard for how others should treat you. 2. Authenticity is the foundation. Let me tell you something about authenticity. Being your true self, no matter who's in the room, is powerful. People respect what's real. They can feel it when you're genuine and consistent, when you show up as you and not who you think others want you to be. Too often we get caught in trying to be liked, but the truth is, being liked is fleeting. Being respected is lasting. And respect comes when you embrace who you are without apology and let the world see that version of you. 3. Kindness and strength are not mutually exclusive. Now, some people think that to be respected, you have to be hard, unkind, or distant. But let me tell you, that's a myth. You don't have to step on anyone to rise up. True strength lies in being kind but firm, compassionate but unwavering in your convictions. When you approach others with kindness while holding on to your inner strength, it creates a powerful balance. People will respect you not because you dominate them, but because they feel the weight of your integrity. So how do you gain respect from anyone? Know yourself, be real, stand firm in your kindness and strength. Respect is not something you have to chase. When you embody it, people can't help but offer it back to you. Respect is a mirror that reflects how we feel about ourselves. To truly gain respect from others, we must first cultivate a deep respect for ourselves, and that starts with self-awareness. Now, what does that mean? It's about taking the time to understand who we are at our core, the things that shape us, our beliefs, our values, and yes, even our weaknesses. Because when you understand yourself on a deeper level, you're not just navigating the world blindly, hoping others will treat you well. You're setting the tone for how others should treat you. Think about it. How can we expect others to respect us if we aren't clear on our own worth? Respect isn't something we can demand, nor is it something that happens by chance. It's something we communicate to the world through our actions, our decisions, and how we allow others to treat us. When you know yourself, truly know yourself, you develop an inner compass. That compass guides your interactions and ensures that you're not swayed by the opinions or actions of others. You no longer look to external validation for your sense of self-worth, because you already know what you bring to the table. Self-awareness is about having clarity in your values, knowing what you believe in and standing firm in that. Whether it's in your personal relationships, your career, or your daily interactions, people will pick up on your clarity and your confidence. It sends an unspoken message: this is who I am, and I won't compromise on that, and that, my friends, is where respect begins. It also means setting boundaries. When you know your limits, you can clearly communicate them to others. Without self-awareness, you might let people take advantage of you or cross lines you didn't even know you had. But when you have a firm grasp on who you are and what you stand for, it becomes much easier to assert those boundaries. And here's the thing: people respect boundaries. They may not always like them, but they respect them. Because boundaries show that you value yourself, that you have standards, and that you won't allow anyone to diminish your worth. This self-awareness also means embracing your imperfections. None of us are perfect, and pretending to be only leads to unnecessary pressure and resentment. When you accept your flaws, you give others permission to do the same. There's a quiet strength in owning your story, your mistakes, your growth. People respect vulnerability when it's coupled with strength. It shows them that you're not afraid to be real, that you're not hiding behind a facade. You're standing in your truth, fully aware of who you are, imperfections and all. Respect then becomes a natural response to this kind of self-awareness. When you know yourself deeply and live in alignment with that truth, people sense it. They can't help but respect the person who walks into a room fully confident in who they are, not because they're loud or boastful, but because they carry a quiet confidence that only comes from being in tune with their own identity. Authenticity is at the heart of every meaningful connection and relationship. It is the foundation upon which respect is built, and it's what draws people toward you in a way that is lasting and genuine. When we talk about authenticity, we're talking about showing up in the world as your true, unfiltered self. It's about not feeling the need to put on a mask or pretend to be someone you're not, just to gain approval or fit in. Instead, authenticity allows you to embrace who you are with all your strengths, flaws, and unique qualities, and let that be enough. People respect what's real. They may admire a facade for a moment, but over time, the truth always comes through. There's something deeply magnetic about someone who is completely at ease with themselves. When you show up authentically, it gives others permission to do the same. You create an environment where people feel safe to be who they truly are, and that creates a deep mutual respect. But more importantly, it's not just about how others see you. Authenticity brings about a profound self-respect. When you stop trying to mold yourself into what you think others want, you reclaim your power. The world often pressures us to conform, to fit into certain molds, whether it's in our careers, relationships, or even social settings. But when you're authentic, you're no longer driven by the need to please others. You're not caught up in external validation because you know that your worth isn't dependent on someone else's opinion. And that is a powerful place to be. Authenticity grounds you in the truth of who you are. And when you stand firm in that truth, others can't help but respect it. Being authentic doesn't mean being perfect or having all the answers. It means being honest with yourself and with others. It means saying what you mean and meaning what you say, even when it's difficult. Authenticity requires courage because it asks you to be vulnerable, to show the parts of yourself that are raw and real. But that vulnerability is where true connection and respect are born. When people see that you are willing to be yourself, flaws and all, they realize that you are someone who can be trusted. Trust is the foundation of respect, and it grows when people know they are dealing with someone who is genuine. Another layer of authenticity is consistency. It's about being the same person no matter who's around or what situation you're in. People respect those who are consistent in their values and actions, who don't change depending on the crowd or the circumstances. When your actions align with your words, and your words align with your core values, that's when authenticity shines through. People may not always agree with you, but they will respect the consistency in how you live your life. They know what to expect from you because you're not hiding behind a mask. You are unapologetically yourself. And let's not forget, authenticity takes work. It requires ongoing reflection and self-awareness. You have to continually check in with yourself to make sure you're living in alignment with your true values and not falling into the trap of people-pleasing or societal expectations. It's about asking yourself, am I being true to who I am? Am I living my truth, even if it's uncomfortable? That kind of inner honesty takes practice, but it's essential if you want to build a life where respect is not only earned, but sustained. Ultimately, authenticity frees you from the exhausting cycle of trying to be something you're not. It liberates you from the fear of judgment, because when you're true to yourself, you understand that not everyone will like or agree with you, and that's okay. Your goal isn't to be liked by everyone, it's to be respected for being true to who you are. And when you are authentic, respect naturally follows because people are drawn to the truth. It's not about perfection, it's about realness. And in a world where so much is filtered and curated, that realness is what people respect the most. Kindness is often misunderstood as a form of weakness, as if being compassionate and gentle makes you someone who can be easily taken advantage of. But the truth is, kindness and strength are not only compatible, they are two sides of the same coin. In fact, it takes a great deal of strength to be kind in a world that can sometimes feel harsh, unforgiving, or competitive. Choosing kindness is not a sign of softness, it's a deliberate act of courage and resilience. It's about holding your ground while extending grace to others, knowing that doing the right thing often requires patience and understanding. There's an immense power in being able to show empathy and compassion, even when faced with difficult situations or people. It takes real inner strength to approach someone with understanding rather than judgment. especially when you're in a position where you could exert power or dominance. Strength isn't about overpowering others or being the loudest voice in the room. It's about having the self-assurance to stay true to your principles even when it's easier to be harsh. The people who can navigate life with both kindness and strength are the ones who earn deep, lasting respect. To be kind yet strong means you understand the value of human connection. You recognize that respect isn't something you can force through intimidation or fear. Real respect is earned when people see that you are consistent in your values, that you treat others with dignity, no matter the situation. Strength allows you to set firm boundaries and stand by them, while kindness enables you to communicate those boundaries in a way that doesn't devalue or belittle the other person. The combination of these two qualities creates an atmosphere of mutual respect, where people feel heard, seen, and valued, but also know that you won't be swayed by manipulation or disrespect. Kindness in leadership, for instance, is one of the most effective forms of influence. A leader who is both kind and strong fosters an environment where people feel safe to express their ideas, make mistakes, and grow. But that kindness is coupled with strength, in that they also hold their team accountable, push for excellence, and maintain high standards. This balance creates trust, and where there is trust, respect naturally follows. People are more likely to respect a leader who demonstrates empathy and fairness rather than one who rules through fear and coercion. It's also important to understand that kindness is not about being a pushover. Being kind doesn't mean letting people walk all over you or tolerating disrespect. True kindness is grounded in self-respect. You can be compassionate while also making it clear that you won't accept being mistreated. In fact, it often takes more strength to assert yourself with kindness than it does with anger or aggression. It requires emotional control, the ability to remain calm under pressure, and a deep sense of confidence in who you are and what you stand for. People may sometimes mistake kindness for weakness, but over time, they'll come to realize that it's the exact opposite. It takes strength to stay kind in the face of rudeness, patience to respond with empathy when it's easier to snap back, and resilience to maintain your principles when others might pressure you to act otherwise. When people witness this balance, your ability to be both kind and strong, they will respect you on a deeper level. They'll see that you are not swayed by negativity or aggression, but instead you choose to rise above it. In the end, kindness and strength together are what build lasting, meaningful respect. They show the world that you have the wisdom to understand the value of human connection and the courage to stand firm in your convictions. You don't have to choose between being compassionate and being strong. In fact, it's when you embody both that you earn the deepest level of respect from those around you.